After great entertainment and top quality action all the way, we've now reached the men's final in the Foster's World 8-Ball Pool Championships here in Blackpool. It's the defending champion Gareth Potts, who also won it back in 2005, up against the twice former winner Jason Twist. And with me here in the studio is Keith Brewer to get the benefit of his experience. What do you make of this final? It promises to be a really good match, doesn't it, Keith?
Well, you certainly got two players with perfect pedigree, got two world titles each. I suppose the only thing I would say is that Gareth's probably got slightly better form coming into the final.
Yeah, it's been a pretty tough road in the latter stages of the tournament. Let's take a check on the record of these players and the way they reached the final stages. First of all, Gareth, he was most impressive against Aaron Roberts. That really was very easy at 9-1. But didn't he have to work hard against Adam Davis? Yeah,
well, Adam's a class act and a guy that's tipped to win the world title one day, I guess. And so it was no surprise that it went to the wire. I did tip it to go to the wire, and it did.
Now, as far as Jason's concerned, well, it's been an up-and-down tournament for him, but really, he lived very dangerously in that semi-final against Gareth when he was trailing, what, 7-1 and 8-2, and still managed to turn it around 10-9.
Yeah, he's had two that have gone to the wire, hasn't he? And he's looked a bit shaky, to be honest, at times in his matches.
And you were making the point as well to me before we came on air. Lots of people are saying nobody's ever won this. First of all, nobody's ever defended it, and nobody's ever won it 3 times. So something's got to give.
Well, one of them's going to go tonight anyway, because someone is going to take the third title. And of course, Gareth can break a double record, be the first person ever to defend it.
And when you look at the names on that roll of honour, you realise this is really such an established top-quality tournament now. Gareth Potts, for example, as we say, defending. Before that, Mark Selby, who's gone on to great other things. Mick Hill playing, of course. Chris Melling. Jason, that's when he won it back in 2002 as well as 2000. Some terrific names, entertaining names, high-quality names.
Yeah, well, it's a high-quality event. We've got all the best pool players here from all over the world.
And do you think maybe the crowd are in the mood for something very special? We've had 2 very special quarterfinals, semi-finals. Can the final live up to it?
Yeah, it's been a great tournament so far. And as the tournament's progressed towards the final, they've got better and better. And we know we're always in for something a little bit special. And tonight we've got two players that have no stranger to winning this event. So they'll both be out for the third one.
And talking of the 2 players, we can now hear from them both. They spoke a little earlier to Jim.
Well, you know, this title has never been successfully defended.
No, well, you know, I've sort of tried not to think about that too much. You know, I'm just here to concentrate on one match at a time, and one frame at a time, one shot at a time, and that's the attitude I've had.
Yeah, I'd love it to be me. I mean, Gareth's playing the best pool over the last 18 months in the world, I believe. So I've really got a game on my hands there. So I just hope I can play well, give him a good game, and if I break well and the ball's split for me, who knows?
So there we go. That's Jason Twist. Before him, we heard from Gareth. I just wonder how nervous these 2 players will be right now, Keith.
Well, I think there's always a little bit of nerves and anxiety, and that's only natural, of course. As the players said there, you know, Gareth's going to take it one ball at a time, one game at a time, completely the right attitude.
I won't ask you for a prediction maybe right now, but just who do you think might shade it? Who's in the best form at the moment?
Without a shadow of a doubt, Gareth is. He has been for about the last 18 months. As Jason said in his interview, he's going to have to dig deep if he's going to push Gareth to the wire tonight.
Let's see what happens. We're going to join the action very soon. It's our MC, Scott Gallagher.
So, yes, we are here. It is the 2008 men's singles final. Introducing your players. One of them, a 2-time title holder, and the other man needs no introduction. He is the defending world champion. Ladies and gents, Jason Twist and Gareth Potts.
Well over 500 players, including the qualifiers, kicked off the 2008 Foster's 8-Ball Whirlpool Championships. Only 2 remain. Both 2-time winners of this event. One of them, Gareth Potts, the holder. The lag, Twist on the right, Potts on the left. One will be a 3-time champion. This will set out the breaking sequence. It's a race to 11, best of 21. In the commentary box alongside me, as always, Sean Baker, and just to Sean's immediate right, we're very happy to be joined by the Fox himself, a quarterfinalist here, and a very sad quarterfinalist. The tournament's loss, our gain, Lee Kendall.
Thanks, Jim. Yeah, we're looking forward to a good final here. Two of the best players in the tournament have progressed through, so the viewers should have a great match.
Well, Gareth Potts just settles in. He's just won the lag. Happy with the rack. And that's the first order of business. Looking for a good split.
Potts to break.
And so important. Gareth Potts understands better than anybody the jinx of the defending champion. He's only got one more hurdle to clear. Sorry, guys, I thought you...
Go on, guys.
What a slaughterous break there.
Yeah, and just one area of difficulty here for Gareth. As you say, he's potted one of each on the break. He's just got a red and a yellow that stuck together. Down the bottom right-hand corner of the table. So he's just going to have to look at developing those.
Yellow ball's in play.
Gareth Potts in his semi-final match. And what a semi-final. Well, both of them, in fact. But Gareth Potts took out his buddy Adam Davis 10-9 in a quality semi-final. One of the best matches we've seen in this event. I mean, I would hazard to say that that's the best that Adam Davis has ever played and lost.
That's a fair comment, because he only lost by the odd frame. It was a very high standard match and he was an unlucky loser.
There's Adam right there. He wishes he was out there. And you have to feel for him. Just one frame, the difference.
See Gareth awkwardly queuing over the 8-ball, taking the yellow to the top. Centre of the pocket. And as Sean said, it's just those two balls tied up in the bottom right-hand corner to negotiate.
And he's just having a look to see if he can get that cue ball into an area where he can possibly dislodge that red, but I don't know if that angle's on offer, Lee.
Yeah, he's looking for his next shot, Jim. He's going to roll this in, then he's going to play the cannon, the shot after, come off the cushion and break the red from behind. So just run this through.
30 seconds.
Now I'll be playing the one below the 8-ball.
Beautifully played. He's very close to the yellow to the bottom right, and as noted, already has the long yellow to the top. If he had a little bit of angle on this, I think he'd probably just raise the back end of his cue and play it. But if it's straight, you can't really get any closer to the other yellow. But
yeah, he could probably just dab it in and take the longer yellow.
yeah, he's still got. It looks like he might have just a touch of angle. He's got to be careful here. Doesn't want to double hit this.
Yeah, that's all he could really do, just dab it in and settle for the long yellow. His first test, this one, of the match so far. Let's see if he's feeling good.
He looks so composed, given that it's the first frame. And you know that the nerves have to be frayed a little bit. Both players just trying to settle in, and what a start for Potts. Looks like a man who is not to be denied. He takes the opening frame here, a break and clearance, the #1 seed, and can the #3 reply? 1-0. Frame #2 of a possible 21. Jason Twist, ball in hand, and the break.
First part of the equation achieved there with the ball off the break. I think it was the greatest split though, Lee, there, was it?
Now the difference in the two breaks where Gareth seemed to explode into the break, all the balls broke out well. There, one struggled into a pocket and they've all bunched up again, so...
Yellow ball's in play.
And he's just gone and chosen his yellows.
Well, if Jason Twist is starting to listen to me, then he's in trouble, Lee, because he's the man there, out there in the world final, and I'm stuck in the commentary box here with yourself and Jim. So
you make it sound like you got second prize.
I think the prize was well down the list in the tombola on this event, Jim.
I mean, this finish here for Jason, it's a must finish for him.
Well, didn't have the angle, Lee. But can he do it here? Can he bump into that yellow and just develop it enough where it'll clear the bottom corner?
And hopefully he'll be left on the one by the middle pocket as well as a guide.
That would be the game plan. But he knows full well the capability of his opponent. And Gareth will seize any opportunity that Jason throws his way. So he's got to try and develop this yellow in pocketing this one. And good idea. He's nudged the 8 out of the way, freed the bottom left corner for the yellow. But the big shot comes now.
30 seconds.
So it's a yellow in the right centre, stun over to the left cushion.
Great effort, great shot. And important now in knocking this yellow into the right center. He has to leave himself an angle on the last one to be able to bring the cue ball down for the 8.
It looks tight. He may have to take the one in the top right-hand corner.
Oh, you're absolutely right, Lee. The yellow doesn't pass into the middle, so...
It's a tough shot, this one. Jacked up on the cushion, screwing on and off the rail.
Red ball's in play.
Yeah, it was a very hard shot, though, jacked up on the cushion.
Yeah, there were many times in his semi-final match where he waited for the 30-second call. Just stood waiting for the 30-second call. As soon as that had transpired, then he got down and played the shot. But a chance. An early chance again for Gareth Potts.
Yeah, he's just looking how to develop the two reds nearest the yellow ball at the bottom end of the table. He could possibly clip the one in the middle and come round the back of the red. Just up. Perfect. He can clip it in now and go into the two reds, knowing that he's going to be on at least one of the two reds on the right-hand side of the table. One of those two reds, Jim, may go into the centre, though.
You just had a look at that, Lee. So, I think he's got a couple options with this.
It looks like it goes.
Yeah, it'll certainly be a better option there than rather than running into the balls and again just trusting to a little bit of luck, Lee.
Yeah, he just can't take it this time because he'll have to bridge over that red, so he'll be trying to get back on it this time. You can see the red clearly does go into the left-hand centre.
Yeah, an interesting statistic, Jim, is that Gareth's been in 2 finals and won both of them so far. Jason Twist has actually been in 4 finals. He's won 2 and lost 2. First tasted defeat way back in 1995 against Daz Ward. And he was runner-up to Chris Melling in 2003. So, be uncharted waters a little bit if Gareth were to lose this match tonight. He's not tasted defeat in this final stage of these championships before. A long way to go before we get to know who this year's champion will be. But certainly Gareth Potts is looking extremely focused.
30 seconds.
Yeah, he was slightly out of position there, and that's forced him to come round and take the red into the top right, where ideally he would have wanted it to go into the top left.
Yes, he's overhit it. Good shot from Gareth.
I think he's hoping to run through it, Jim, if he can hit it full ball and send the white towards a cushion.
Very tough shot here, Lee. and a big one. Big moment. Oh, he's missed it. And a shake of the head. Well, it could have been 2-0 so
Please,
easily.
ladies and gentlemen, make sure they're turned off.
Big let off there for Twist.
Oh, Jason's missed the yellow, and he's left the 8 there. A wry smile from Twist as he leaves the table, but he didn't punish Gareth. And look at Gareth Potts emphatically securing frame number 2 here in Blackpool.
Gareth Potts to break. Leading by 2
Frame number
frames to 0.
3. And Potts has already secured the first 2. The top seed versus the number 3 seed.
Yellow ball potted.
Another big break there from Gareth Potts. It's still not an easy finish. He's just got the one red tied up at the top left-hand side. If he chose to go reds, if he went yellows, he's got the option of possibly clipping the yellow and he's just pointing his cue at and disturbing the red. So it's just how he feels, really.
I just wonder if he could use one of those
30 seconds.
2 reds to disturb that little cluster.
Yellow ball's in play.
Yeah, that's why he's chose the yellows, because he feels he can. If he just gets one of them at it, he's going to be able to take the other one down the rail.
Red ball's in
It's the
play.
second mistake in a row, really, from Gareth. So there are a few nerves for him. It's up to Jason now to start putting a few more thoughts in his mind.
Lee, you know Gareth very well. I mean, you're in partners with him now in a business in Stoke-on-Trent. And how would he have prepared for this final mentally?
He would just. He's a pretty relaxed guy. He would just chilled out in his room. He's winning most of the tournament, so he doesn't really have to force, any extra pressure on himself. It's, he expects to win most time he plays, which is a big factor.
And does Gareth work as hard at his game as most of the top pros?
I'd probably say harder. He practices 5 hours a day, 5 days a week. He wants to win this title.
Well, Jason, always one of those that he tends to give off that easygoing approach and devil-may-care attitude. Equally talented.
Yeah, and it's a big frame for Jason. 2-0 down. Quick glance at the clock. We have a minute to play a shot in this game. Jason doesn't very often hear the 30 seconds called. A quick player. He's slightly out of position now.
And he's got it.
Yeah, superb effort there from Jason Twist. Not quite sure he's finished exactly where he wanted that cue ball though there, Lee, obviously because he was out of position on that shot. Still got that awkward red in there.
Well, I think he's just trusting to a little bit of luck here. He's going to go into the 3 balls, hoping the white comes off the rail.
Well, he's got one more chance, and he better come good with this one because he's still got the angle on the penultimate red.
Left himself low purposely, so he obviously agrees with you and thinks it goes. It's a big shot. The cue ball's close to double kissing this red. I think he needed to be a little bit thinner on this. Yeah, the double kiss.
Oh,
the
close.
white double kissed into the red, that's why he missed it.
Once again, a let off from Jason Twist.
A clever little shot there from Gareth. Knocked the red ball safe, taking the pressure off himself. He knows he's got a tricky little finish, but he knows he can afford to go with the ball being on the cushion now.
Such a big time. He understands no player has ever defended this title. This is the 16th year of this event.
You have got to wonder, if he was to take the title, it would be 3 titles in 4 years. And at the age of, what, only 25, just how many more world titles could he secure? You know, he's got all those years in front of him. You see Jason Twist is 40 now, still playing at the highest level.
So many good young players coming up, though. I mean, young Adam Davis, and I mean, the future of this sport is on solid ground. Good shot. Nice little shot there. Now he's going to be able to lay the snooker. That's what he was trying to do, just buy himself the right opportunity, and now he'll be able to weld that cue ball in behind the yellow.
Total snooker.
And Jason's going to have to fly at this.
Yeah, he won't be playing the tactical foul here. He'll be trying to come out of the snooker and hopefully develop the red and put a little bit of pressure onto Gareth. It's such a tough snooker to get out of. He's arcing around the yellow ball.
Foul.
Well, he's trying to arc around it. He's caught it. That was all because he had so much spin on. You can see that on the cue ball with the spots on it. It just doesn't seem to have turned up yet, does he?
No, not at all. And again, this is eerily similar to his semi-final match.
And his quarter-final match as well, Jim. He didn't come out all guns blazing in that one against Carl Morris. He only won on the deciding frame.
Great shot from Gareth Potts there, securing the second visit still. Though the way he's looking, he's not going to need it. And a menacing start for Gareth Potts. 3-0. Well and truly out of the gate here in Blackpool. The race to 11. Frame number 4. Jason doesn't have a look at them. He just wants to get on with it. 3-0 to Gareth Potts.
Red ball's potted.
Well, he's potted a ball, but just look at that cue ball. It's parked in the middle of 7 object balls.
Well, Jason will be hoping he can get through to the yellow and to the centre. Just a question of how close he is to the red ball. But a lot better break there from Twist.
A lot of power. I mean,
30 seconds.
Everything congregated at the top end of the table and around the white. Surrounded it.
And it doesn't look like it goes from that angle. Looks like the other yellow may be blocking it. But we'll soon find
Yellow
out.
ball's nominated.
Yeah, he didn't go, so he's going to play safe, run the white back up to the top corner.
Open table.
Potted a red by nominating yellows. It's still an open table, so Gareth's got the choice of reds or yellows.
Yeah, he's probably tempting Gareth a little bit with that red into the top middle pocket. I'm sure that's not the ball. I'm just wondering if he's looking at taking that yellow just beside that red. It's a very, very fine cut, Lee.
No, I think he's looking at taking the red, Sean, into the middle and leaving an angle so he can just clip the other red in and go into the 2 on to the right-hand side.
All right, yeah.
He's just asking for the cue ball to be cleaned here. He's obviously spotted some chalk on it. A bit of foreign matter. So our referee, Kevin Armitage. Steady hand required.
Time running.
Cue ball didn't really want to settle down into its original place, did it?
No. So it just move a little bit each time it was put down.
Red ball's in play.
I think he's come a little bit further than he would have wanted there. So he's going to have to play the cannon, I think, off the red that's closest to the right-hand rail and bump the white into the one in the middle of the three. The other option is you could play the double and screw the red over. Play both of them.
Fantastic shot there from Gareth Potts. Looks like that could be the pot that secures this fourth frame. Just taking a little bit of time though to compose himself. I'm sure if you'd have seen someone like Chris Mellon at the table, a couple of more shots have been played by now, but Gareth realises the importance of these early frames.
I just think it's, well, they've been so close to the red and he's got the two yellows to negotiate round. He's just thinking, can I hold the white or have I got to run it on and off the cushion? Only Gareth can tell from that angle. I think he's holding it.
These are all damaging blows, though. From half chances, Gareth Potts is developing them into frame-winning opportunities, and right now Jason Twist has to feel like he's bear hunting with a butter knife.
It's a slow up. Looks to be perfect. It's just a question of whether he's going to draw it back on and off the rail. He just needs to avoid the yellow. Should still be okay.
There you have it. The storyline continues. Gareth Potts motoring on. 4-0 now ahead of Jason Twist. The break in frame 5 already having secured the first for the top-seeded defending champion. Looking unstoppable.
Well, fantastic break shot there. He's been very unlucky. He's had two balls that have tried to go into that bottom right-hand corner pocket as we looked, and both have stayed out. And he knows. He's just had a quick look at the table there.
Well, Jason won't get a better chance to secure a frame right here.
Red ball's in play.
He's got to start making some headway.
Yeah, he hasn't got a tricky ball on the table. It's just whether he can hold himself together and just get his first frame on the board and start building some bridges here.
Yeah, because if he secures this frame against the Potts break, and he can come out and make a ball on his break in the next frame and get a decent split, could quite easily have cut the deficit to 2 in the space of just a few minutes.
Yeah, I mean, what you call a dot-to-dot finish. He hasn't really got to do anything, just keep stunning these balls in, keep the cue ball in the middle of the table. This is probably the key shot of the frame. Take both balls into the centre, one on the left, one on the right. Absolutely perfect.
He wastes no time around the table, and psychologically, you know, he plays the same type of game as Gareth Potts. Boy, he can slot those marks on the score sheet on his side very quickly. Just like that, 4-1. He's got the break in the next, and as you said, Sean Baker, a good split, and who knows? Frame number 7, 4-2, he still leads, but he's been pegged back somewhat.
Made a yellow.
Yellow ball potted.
Just looking at the yellows and reds here. Open table.
Red ball's nominated.
And it's going to be reds.
He'll be looking to just tap the one that he's closest to into the middle, I would have thought. Otherwise, he's going to be awkwardly bridging. over that red to pop one of the other ones. So a little dab into the centre. Easy to
30 seconds.
overcut these. They've been so close to the cue ball.
Red ball's in play.
Yeah, nice control shot there because he used the yellow as a bump to stop that cue ball travelling too far. He's kept it under control. Just got a little bit of work to do here, Gareth Potts, I would say. Just taking that extra little bit of time.
It's just about the angle you leave on the balls here, Sean. If he can keep himself with the right angles at the bottom of the table, he can probably just drop the one in the left-hand centre. And he doesn't need to play the plant then, because the two reds are going the bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah, because that's certainly not a straightforward plant we're seeing there, Lee. It looks slightly offset, those two reds we see there on the overhead. He's just showing you there where he'd like to leave the cue ball.
I mean, he has got the option to take the long one into the corner and run through, but he probably would like to clear the top of the table first.
30 seconds.
Yeah, it's something the top professionals are always looking to do. Keep your work in one area, Lee, isn't it?
That's right. But he's just working his way around. I'm sure he'll clear the top, and he is doing. Just about okay.
Does he have the angle to try and bring that cue ball, stun it down to play that red into the center?
Yeah, I think he can just punch it over, Jim.
And he's got the perfect angle to drop onto one of his two reds that are stuck together. This is over and out.
Yeah, this is a great reply here from Gareth Potts.
Oh, that's a foul. Oh, no,
Yellow
the cue
ball.
ball.
Cue ball made the
hit a
side
cushion.
rail, yes, Jim.
Well, that's careless.
Got excited. That is careless.
That is careless. He knows it. He knows he's got Jason Twist coming back at him from a 4-0 lead. It's 4-2 now, and that should have been 5-2.
Yeah, I was just about to say that really he's fired straight back at Jason after Jason had taken those last two frames to cut the deficit to 2. You think, well, he's just stretched it again to 3.
Seconds.
Nice straightforward finish.
And that was just, you know, taking the shot for granted. It was perfect. Ideal angle. All he had to do was drop it in, and he just got a little too cute.
Yeah, Jason looked like he's trying to swerve round and just hit the one on the top left-hand cushion. Oh, he's played it poorly. I think he can drop the one in the centre now and hold on that red, on the yellow below it. It's a strange choice of shot by Jason, because if you catch the cushion first, your white's always going to ping out with the side.
He just over swerved it, Lee. I think he tried to hit that one pretty full and leave the cue ball on the left-hand cushion.
Yeah. That's what he tried, but it was when you swerve and you jack your cue up, that side spin can always get away from you. So he's just looking at now whether he can just drop it in. I'm sure he can. Well, Gareth doesn't think he can. He's just defending, sending the white to the bottom corner.
And that's not a very good defending shot.
No, because he's put that red in a safer position than it was, certainly.
He's still in control, though. He's got one over the middle, he's got the red over the right-hand side, but he's letting Jason slowly back in the frame.
And what's more, I think, and equally significant, is he's letting Jason back in the match by virtue of mistakes.
That's right, Jim. The more mistakes are going to give Twist confidence.
Seconds.
This is the awkward yellow, and that's the one Jason wants to develop right now.
No, he's played a very good shot there. It's kept him off the one in the bottom right-hand corner. If he didn't fancy the red in the centre before, he won't fancy it now. But I still think you can clip it in and get down to that area.
It's a very, very thin clip on that red, as you say, Lee.
But this heavy cue ball tends to throw a little bit further out. I'm sure he can pop.
There's not touching.
30 seconds.
It's a good shot, just keeping the pressure on.
And Jason Dooley taps the table in acknowledgement of a nice effort from Gareth. Just a containing shot, but that's really all he could do.
And what he's actually done is put that cue ball just in front of the yellow.
Well, I nearly call it. It's quite fortunate for Jason there. I think it may have just flipped the yellow as well on the way through, stopped it from going. But it's as good as he could do. I'll be happy with the situation. He knows he's in trouble in the frame, but at least he's forcing Gareth Potts to do something. Looks like he can get through. He can get through to the one over the pocket. Well, he's been a little bit unfortunate. I think he tried to screw over to the left-hand side and take the red into the centre next. He can still jack up and make it, but it's just down to where the cue ball's going to land.
Yeah, it's such a fine cut. He's going to be sending that cue ball round. As you say, he's going to have the cue in the air as well. So jacked up.
He could go an Oshawn off the yellow in the top right-hand corner. He's got to hit it that thin.
30 seconds.
And that's saying he gets a pot because he's bridging right over the aids. He's played the double.
Oh, and got it. Goes quickly over to see if he's got the red. Worth another look. This could be the double that lays the brickwork.
Just about come far enough, I think, there, Lee, for this black. So he's just above it. Could have been a lot easier, though.
Easy enough. The 8 disappears. Gareth Potts reestablishes that 3-frame advantage. 5-2, he leads Jason Twist. It's the 8th frame. 5-2, the lead to Gareth Potts. And Jason Twist with the break.
Red ball
Red
made.
ball potted.
So can Jason manufacture a finish in here? Again, although the balls are split well, nothing easy here. Is the yellow and a red on the top rail. The right hand side as we look there, little cluster by the black as well.
Yeah, if he's trying to go out here, he'll definitely go the yellows. I think the red's just a little bit too tricky to finish in one visit.
30 seconds.
Yellow ball's nominated.
And yellow's the color he's going to be attacking. The ones at the bottom end.
Yellow ball's in play.
Certainly a concern for Jason, but maneuvering that cue ball around the table, picking his spots, will avail each one of those yellows.
Well, I think he would like to be in straight on the yellow, on the right-hand side nearest to the red, which is near the pocket. Then he could have run straight through to below the pack and picked him off. He could have just run down below with the red.
30 seconds.
And that's what he's trying now. If you can just run straight through and between those two reds.
Not his best cueing action there.
Red ball's in play.
It was a tough ask because I don't think he had much of an angle there.
Still a lot of work to do, though, for Gareth.
Yeah, the red at the top gems a ball.
Yeah, very difficult, I was just about to say, Lee, and that's not to say the ones in the middle of the table are sitters either.
He may just roll the red up to the pocket here. Just get a little bit of control. That's exactly what he's done, so he knows it's... If Jason's going to go, he's either going to try and play the yellow inside the red And if he doesn't go, he's going to be in control.
Yeah, nice shot there from Gareth, because previously when he's come to the table after Jason's maybe has broken off, he's given Jason a chance back, you know, but he's just putting a little bit of control on this frame this time, Jim.
And just as difficult, you know, just so our people at home understand, when you're trying to lay a ball over a pocket, the speed, you know, you don't want it to go in. Sometimes it's just as tough trying to lay a ball in that area as it is trying to make it.
Yeah, especially on the new tables, because the pockets are a little bit more generous. Gareth's just decided to develop the balls and say, right, Jason, you need to knock these in or I will. I mean, the finish is there because the yellow goes inside the red, but such a tough finish.
That's a great long yellow from Jason, but
just look at that red. It's really close to that corner pocket. And Jason now has got two balls in extremely difficult positions, one on the top rail, one on the bottom, left and right as we look. See, that's red, Gareth's red, he's bumped over the pocket. So it's now blocking that pocket as well.
Well, this is a tough shot. He's trying to play the yellow past it. And it couldn't have gone much worse for Jason, because the red's come over and give him the chance to play in off the red or let the cue ball run into the yellow. It's a tough shot though, he only had a quarter of a pocket to get past.
he has to stay close to Gareth, and he knows that. Oh, good shot from Potts there, developing a difficult red. And now, depending on where that 8-ball is situated, he may have a chance to try and surge further in front. 8 looks like it's available to the center pocket, the bottom center as we look, and it may be available to the top left. Certainly into that pocket that 8 goes.
30 seconds.
So probably just run this into the bottom left-hand corner. Run round the 2 for the middle. Perfectly.
That's what I try to do, Sean, if that makes sense. Yeah. Well, he made sure and hit that one hard enough, unlike another one he played into the center pocket earlier. And this is the shot. He's got to pull this back somewhere to where his cue hand is. A little short of what would be ideal position.
Yeah, because he's just hampered by this yellow that's on the bottom rail. Like you say, he wanted to be at least another 3 or 4 inches there on this shot.
Side pocket. He's got it. Dead center, never a doubt. 6-2 confirmed. Gareth Potts, the top seed, halfway to the finish line.
Welcome back to Blackpool, where we're enjoying a terrific men's final in this Foster's World 8-Ball Pool Tournament. And I have to say that so far, Keith, Gareth is looking pretty invincible.
Yes, really, as we suspected, Gareth has carried on his form from where he's left off, really. Jason struggled a little bit, let's be fair, but Gareth's put him under so much pressure it's hard for him to get his game going.
But we know from the semi-finals you write Jason off at your peril. I mean, he's come back from, you know, long ways back before.
Yes, that is true, but I think for you to come back from this kind of distance, you are relying on your opponent to make some mistakes. That happened in the semi-final. I just don't think it's going to happen in the final.
Keith, thanks very much indeed. So it's looking good for Gareth. Let's now go back to the table.
9th frame. Gareth Potts to break, leading by 6 frames to 2.
Frame number 9, a 6-2 lead brings Gareth Potts back to the table. Nothing down.
I don't think he caught that break as well as he liked. I think he caught the front ball too thin.
Lee being in business with Gareth and owning a club in the Stoke area, it's never a bad thing having that World Championship trophy on one of the shelves there, is it?
No, it'd certainly be good for the area. I mean, Gareth's...
who does the polishing?
Well, it won't be me, Jim. I'll have to get Gareth's girlfriend Angie to do it.
Jason just surveying the situation here. Frame number 9, 6-2. He once again finds himself into the unenviable position of really having to do something.
Oh, Jason slightly misjudged that, so all he can do is play a containing safety. Just this game of 8-ball, sometimes, some days it's so easy, some days it's so hard, but for Jason at the moment, it's just so hard.
Well, Gareth has gone a long ways to keep that the same, and he's taken out some great finishes.
Well, I don't think that's the best shot by Gareth, because he's let Jason to be able to just have a look now to play the red inside, the yellow over the pocket. I think he can still go game here if that ball, if the two reds together plant in the left hand corner.
Yeah, if those go, then he won't mind that one having dropped in.
Yeah, I think it was one of those, he played it at pocket weight thinking, well, if it stays over the bag, I'm not too up pressure. Yeah, he didn't mean to pot that one there, he just played to control the pocket.
And develop those two reds.
Yeah, so he obviously thought they weren't plantable into the bottom left-hand corner. So it's a good shot by Jason, he's gained control of the table.
Interesting point about the pace of the game as well there you made, Lee. Say Twister's slowed down, but that won't really affect Gareth, will he? Because Gareth doesn't really fly around the table. He's a very steady, methodical player, so that won't particularly upset us. He's just having a look at the shot clock there to see how long is left. He's probably waiting for the 30-second call. Well, I'm not sure we've even heard the 30-second call there. The clock showed 52 seconds.
He didn't have a lot of time to spare. 60 seconds these players have to adhere to that shot clock. They get the 30-second warning, and we'll try and listen for it. You won't hear it a lot with these two. Mind you, when you get into some of these tactical frames like this.
Yeah, that's the time where you need a little bit more thinking time, because it's not plain sailing. Finishes are normally routine, but when the tactics need to be played, you always have to be one shot ahead of your opponent.
Tactical battle here, Lee. Who do you favor?
I would say Gareth was a better tactical player, because Jason has always been the more of aggressive player. They're both open flowing games, but Gareth's got a good B game, as in a good tactical brain on him. Well, he may have thrown this frame away, because Jason can pot the yellow into the centre pocket, run through, and there is a gap in the bottom right hand corner for the yellow to free that pocket up.
Yeah, and I think Jason was just trying to run into that yellow and just nudge the red a little bit closer.
I think he may have been going game. I think he was trying to play the cannon, play the plant.
Here you go. Play the yellow with a little bit of speed. Off the red, free the pocket for the other yellow. Or at least open that pocket up, and Gareth, every chance.
That's fine, because he doesn't need to take those 2 yellows. He's nearest 2 into that pocket now. It's just a question of whether the yellow by the 8 ball is blocked by the 8 ball.
And they've got no real control over the red would have got where the red would have gone, so had a nice shot there on it.
Well, if he played it with any more speed, the red could have quite easily come back and got glued to the cue ball. Well, I think that's just made it a little more tricky now, because you've got the yellow, which is the right-hand side, in between the 2 reds and yellows. He's got to get on, and also he's got the black touching the yellow in the middle of the table. So I think he's got to screw back now and develop those, but he needs to land on the ball that he's going into.
30 seconds.
And he's playing the plant. Well, I think he's not played the plant. I think he's played the safety. He's played the cover of the pocket and just take control.
He seems quite content with the effort.
Yeah, if he would have gone for it, Jim, he would have played possession. He didn't. He just left Jason tied up against that red.
One thing about it is, as flowing as these 2 players can be, when you get into these tactical exchanges, it can bring the worst out in a player, and really pull one of them out of their rhythm, their natural pace.
He obviously thinks it goes because he's playing it hard.
Yeah, great shot there from Jason Twist. Tap of the table and appreciation there from Gareth Potts. He's wrested control of that pocket away from Gareth. Now Gareth's going to have to find a safety.
Yeah, he's just going to put the yellow towards the pocket, I think, here.
The thing is, sure, all Jason's got to do now is get that red out of there, Lee. Up in towards where the red and the yellow are close together, somewhere up there or just out into the open. Probably send the cue ball up the table.
Certainly worth the time and attention that he's taking. Once again, just to remind everyone, he's 6-2 behind. Best of 21. First player to 11.
I think I'll just put the yellow on top of the red here, but try and buy a bit more time. Just trying to make it awkward.
That keeps the reins tightly around Jason Twist.
Good shot there by Jason. By playing the red down there, he knows he can play the plant at another visit. And he's just put the black down there. It's a clever little shot because he knows that Jason's going to have to move his red away. It's a tricky shot for Jason now.
Quite often when you end up with scenarios like this, it's one shot.
Foul.
One shot can
Two
be the
visits.
difference. Whether it be a great one or a very poor one from either camp, and opens the door.
I'm not convinced by that shot by Jason. I think he's just give Gareth control. Sending the yellow down.
Second visit.
Play the deliberate foul and leave him right behind the red.
Yeah, it was a good shot, because if he'd have played the shot you were talking about before, Lee, he'd have put the yellow over the pocket, then Jason had just played the red onto the yellow and covered the pocket. So
Well, he's decided not to play the foul because he's opened the pocket up so he can go game. Yeah, the shot that he could possibly play here, he isn't playing it, but he could have played the red into the centre and then played the deliberate foul back.
But these are psychological wars.
That's an excellent shot there, Jim, though.
I don't think Gareth can quite believe he's played that shot there, because the way he's played it, he's left him blocked out.
One ball has to hit a cushion somewhere, and
Foul.
he didn't get the
Foul.
yellow
Is it
anyway.
the red?
2 visits.
Just wonder if that shot from Jason Twist has just knocked Gareth out of his stride a little bit. You could see he wasn't happy.
Yeah, I think he's looking to screw the cue ball over, leave an angle to cannon down into him. It's a dangerous choice of shot, though, because if he catches it wrong, he could be playing the yellow into the pocket. And if he doesn't disturb anything, he's in trouble. I'm surprised he didn't get the cue ball onto the other side of the table and played the 4-ball plant. It was always something that may have happened there. It was a tough shot.
And Jason Twist is now in trouble in this frame and potentially in trouble in this match.
Sean, he's already in trouble in this match.
Yeah, I was just suggesting that from 6-2 he could be looking at going 7-2 down here, Jim. And the end could be in sight.
Well, he needs a touch of a surgeon here to be able to roll on this and
30 seconds.
keep the red from dropping into the pocket with some shot.
Foul. 2 visits.
Well, there's room for that yellow. But Gareth May, can he get through? I think he feels like he's got a chance here.
Second visit.
Yeah, I think he's just wasted the visit there to move that yellow out, Jim, and the frame's at his mercy now, because that yellow certainly goes past the red.
Yeah, that's. It looked like it from our first camera angle, Sean, and you know, confirmation there. It's going to be 7-2. And it looked like Jason Twist had the initiative in this one. Looked like he had control, and I said it in the middle of the frame. You know, it can change so quickly with a subtle mistake. That's exactly what happened. Gave Gareth Potts the opportunity, and he wasted no time at all for 7-2. Well, it's familiar ground, though, for Jason Twist. That's a scoreline that he saw in his semifinal. 7-2, he trails Gareth Potts. And nothing down.
Open table.
He's had a couple dry breaks in this final, and yet he still finds himself 8-2 in front.
Yeah, interesting what's happened, though, on those dry breaks. It not really left the table open for Jason Twist. And you see here, a little cluster of 3 yellows and a red there at the top of the screen, just the left of the middle pocket.
Yeah, I think that means he's probably forced into taking the yellows, and that's what he's going to do now. He's taking the yellow into the centre.
30 seconds.
Screw the cue ball out and probably play the split the next shot.
Yellow ball's in play.
Has he come far enough? I think he may be a little bit too straight. Judging by his drop of his arms, I think he thinks he's too straight as well. Can he pinch it off the jaw? He's just got an angle.
Going to have to hit it a bit of speed, Lee.
Which makes yellow missable. Well, it's just not easy for Jason today. Hard day at the office for him.
Yeah, I think what he's hoping is that that red would have gone a little bit further up. And then he'd be able to take that yellow that he's closest to into that middle pocket.
Well, he just seems to be struggling. He just needs to find a shot every time he's at the table, whereas he's normally fluent and flowing. He's just having to dig finishes out.
30 seconds.
And you feel that every finish now, as far as Jason Twist is concerned, everyone that presents itself, he's got to take. The alternating break format, he knows Gareth Potts is going to be coming out of his chair on numerous occasions. He's going to have to trust to luck, and he can't afford any mistakes.
Oh, you're right. Gareth wants 3 frames. And even after this frame, he will still have 5 more times he'll come to the table to break off. You would expect a player of Gareth's calibre to take out at least 3 of those chances.
Yeah, exactly right, Sean, and that was my point. So, I mean, even though Jason Twist, we've seen him come back from the dead before, you really need a bit of help. You need your opponent to start stumbling, you need a little bit of luck, and you can't miss.
Well, he's just checking the angle. He's going to have to leave himself on the last yellow so he can get out for the black. Little punch over to the middle of the table. He's going to have to hit this a little bit harder than he would like to run the cue ball out, which would make the yellow slightly missable.
Oh, he thumped it in.
Great shot there from Jason Twist. And this simple 8-ball to reduce the deficit.
Well, when he came back in his semi-final match against Gareth Hibbett, he won 6 in a row from trailing 8-2. Going to be a tall order to do that against Potts, but it started with that one. 8-3. Still a 5-frame deficit he's got to try and overhaul here. 8-3 to Gareth Potts, frame number 12.
Open table.
The break shot is just not working for Jason Twist here.
Well, he's broke the balls open. He hasn't potted one, and there's still a lot of work to be done. He's going for the reds. If you look where the 8-ball is, surrounded by the yellows, so at some point he's going to have to break those open.
30 seconds.
And he's decided to do it straight away. Where's the yellow going?
Red ball's in play.
Lee, that isn't bad.
It is bad. He's still got a lot of manoeuvring to do with the cue ball.
But at least that yellow hasn't covered the pocket from the red that he's looking at now, and that could have easily happened. So right now, he's looking. The pattern with which he wants to remove these reds, Lee, he would be thinking 3, maybe 4 shots ahead.
Yeah, that's about right, Jim. I mean, you won't be as far as a black yet. Normally you try to work your route all the way through, but
the plan changes en route, doesn't it?
It does, certainly when you've got all these yellows as they are, just making obstacles for you.
But always leaving yourself a little angle affords you positional options.
And this needs to be a good shot now, because he's going to punch it into the bottom right-hand corner. He's decided to play safe.
Yellow ball's in
Perhaps
play.
just didn't feel he had the angle there, Lee, to get out for that red.
I think he just wants Jason, if he's going to get back into this match, he's going to have to fight for it, so he's just used a little bit of his experience there, so shows he's thinking rather straight at the moment and keen to keep his title.
And certainly he wants to make that lead look insurmountable. You know, he knows, a few of the frames, well, a few,
30 seconds.
almost all the frames that Jason has won in this match, all 3 of them, he's really won very quickly. I mean, he's come to the table and just cleaned up and whip it like style.
Well, is it a trick shot from Twist? Certainly a good shot. I don't know about a trick shot.
Brilliant shot there from Jason Twist. Laid the cue from a vertical position.
Total snooker.
He's laid the snooker.
Yeah, the sort of thing you see in exhibitions when players are playing a masse. He had to do that. He had to raise that cue because he was cueing so close to the yellow.
Yeah, great control. He's total
30
snookered
seconds.
Gareth Potts. And by bringing that yellow out into the open, forces Gareth to try and go game now. Because all the yellows are away from that pocket, so...
Yeah, he'd like to have clipped that off the bottom cushion first, and that would have brought the cue ball back out towards the middle of the table and nicely onto the red below the black.
Yeah, it's going to be hard, Jim, to get on his next colour here. He's going to have to rely on a little bit of luck, go into the 8 ball, probably slide up to the right-hand side of the table if he catches it thin enough, which should be fine for him.
30 seconds.
You're looking to see if he can go past the 8 and up into the yellow. I think he might be a little bit too thin on it for that. Yeah, straight into the 8 and he's missed it. It was awkward cueing.
Yeah, not only he's missed it, but I think he's left that pocket open for Jason Twist. Yeah, and he's got straight away got an opportunity to remove that red out of the corner.
And these are the chances that I was talking about earlier. Jason has to take advantage of everything that comes his way. He's got to let Gareth Potts know, that he's well and truly not going to go away.
Yeah, he has to stick in there like Adam Davis did in the semi-final. He was 8-5 down and he just stuck in there and kept the pressure on. So, you know, he can get back into the match, but he needs to keep taking his opportunities, and that's only just about gone in. I think he's tried to play it off the edge of the red. He's still okay because he's got the yellow into the top left-hand corner. Hold the cue ball there. I'm just looking for his, not for this shot, for the following shot. The angle he's going to leave himself on it.
Seconds.
Good recovery, though.
Yeah, this needs to be precise now because he's only got half a pocket to aim at, and also he's going to try and develop the yellow just above the yellow he's playing. Needs a bit of luck.
And he hasn't had it, has he? Stuck on that red. Might just be able to get through to the yellow at the top of the screen there, and I think he can.
Time out.
Extremely tight.
Yeah, I think he can get through to it, Sean, but well, he's asking for a total snooker.
Time running.
And the referees give a total snooker, so he's in trouble again.
That's bad luck. I mean, playing the shot at that pace, he's developed the difficult yellow. I mean, you really couldn't legislate for the cue ball ending up there, Lee.
No, he expected to cannon the yellow full and hopefully land on the yellow in the right centre. So all he can do now is make sure that he hits the yellow ball and pray that he gets another chance, but looking where the reds are, you can't see it. The way he's playing, he's going to be close to going off. Oh, he's played a great shot. Looked like he was playing the first yellow and he's gone round the back for the other one.
Yeah, tap of the table there from Gareth as well, in appreciation of that. Excellent shot there from Jason Twist, because he was in all sorts of trouble.
This is the sort of magic, though, that Twist can weave with that wand. This is why you can never count him out.
30
Well,
seconds.
if he's playing the one over the pocket, he's going to have to masse around the yellow and the black. That's what he's trying. So watch the arc on the cue ball here. You'll see the dots spinning.
Desperately unlucky there, because it appeared he only had to contact that red to make it disappear into the pocket. Somehow it stayed up. And the pendulum swings again in this frame.
He hasn't left anything easy for Jason here, though, because he's got a thin clip in the middle where he may go off the red. So whether that's an option, I don't know. I think it might be forced to taking the one into the top right.
Yes, and he's still left that red just to keep the
30
pressure on
seconds.
Jason. He's left that red in close proximity to the corner pocket still, so a mistake, very punishable.
It looks like he may just get through to the top. Excellent shot. I don't think he had anything other than just to take the pot and leave himself on the rail. Probably run all the way through now. He would like more of an angle. Just doesn't want to get too close to the yellow. Just wiped its feet. That's what you call coming through the back door.
That's what you call your heart in your mouth.
Well, Jason knows he's probably made a mistake there. I know the yellow's gone, but he still needs to pull out a big shot. He's a little bit too high on the yellow. I'm not sure if he can play the double. I think the double does go.
30 seconds.
It's tight though, might just sneak into the top side of the pocket. To drop it in the middle will be a big ask. So he's deciding to play the yellow into the top right as we look. He's missed it. I'm not convinced that was the right shot, because I think the yellow did double and it was one big double for the frame.
But he just didn't leave himself easy enough.
It's really been the story of the match where Gareth's missed a chance and Jason's come in and just...
He hasn't punished him. And at this level, you miss when the balls are in the open, you really do expect to be punished.
Certainly against the current world champion, and you're trying to dethrone him. You've got to take every opportunity. Jason's got two, but this is the man to beat at the moment. So it's just a simple stuff here for Potts. He'll be taking both balls now into the same pocket, just stun over. Perfect position.
Now just 2 frames away from doing what no man before has done. 9-3, Gareth Potts over Jason Twist. Frame number 13, 9-3 to Gareth Potts. But a dry break brings Jason Twist out of his chair.
Yeah, nothing down. So Jason's getting an opportunity. I don't think he'll get too many more, so he has to take it.
Well, interestingly, the last 3 frames have gone against the serve, if you like, against the break. So they are alternating these frames.
Yeah, Jason's just going to drag the yellow in.
30 seconds.
Oh, he's missed it. Oh, swipes his
Yellow
feet
ball's in
again.
play.
So it's just a question now when Jason plays the yellow, if he can just move the red to the bottom cushion, out of the way, doesn't want to cause any traffic jams.
Taking a little time too.
30 seconds.
That is not Jason Twist like. Is he going to cover the pocket or is he attacking?
Oh, he's
attacking.
He's attacking. He's just making sure that he got the red out of the way.
You see him take so much time, Lee. You start to question his motives.
That's right. It's not the normal twist. They call him the tornado, but he's not blowing today.
Well, he's certainly got one foot out the door of this event and the other on a banana peel.
Yeah, and he needs to not slip up here because he's... I think he's okay. He's on the yard in the right centre. The only problem with the cue ball being so close to the cushion here is he may just have to roll this in, so will he run too far for the one in the centre, and that's why he's a bit edgy on it. So he may have made a mess of these.
30 seconds.
That's why he's played it off the red. Very clever
brilliant,
shot.
Brilliant shot. Well contrived.
Yeah, so often you see these players, they just run slightly out of position, as you say. Then they manufacture the shot to return into the ideal position. It's exactly what Jason Twist has done there.
And it's just a question whether he's straight. Yeah, he had to run into the red. I thought he had the slight off angle. So again, he's slightly off angle again, so he's probably just going to have to roll it in and take an order black.
Yeah, he's going to have to leave himself a long distance look at that 8.
He doesn't want to be trying to do too much of the cue ball and forcing it round the angles. Just accept what's at the table, what you have to do sometimes.
Well, that's the measure of knowing your ability, is accepting what the table offers.
30 seconds.
So he doesn't want to do anything special here, Lee. Just bump this in and leave the tricky 8.
Swiped its feet again.
He's at 2 in this frame now. He's done that.
And he shouldn't even contact a red here. Straight ball. And gets the 8. Had to have it. And Jason Twist staying alive. 9-4 still to Gareth Potts.
Fourteenth frame.
9-4.
Jason Twist to break. Trailing
Jason
by 9 frames
Twist
to 4.
needs a major recovery here against the #1 player on the planet.
Well, he's made a ball, but he didn't really
Red ball potted.
get a good contact on the pack again there.
He's made a red and he was just looking there, that red just to the left of the black, and see if there was a path through for it.
Well, I think he'll go the reds, and it's just a question of getting on the 8 ball, the red below the 8 ball, on the left-hand side of the screen as we look. So, I mean, a lot of work to be done here by Twist.
30 seconds.
Lots of traffic in the middle of the table. I mean, if he did get straight on the red nearest to the black, above
Red
the
ball's
black,
in play.
then he could run into the yellows.
Well, he couldn't have had a lot of time there either, because the 30-second shout had already come.
Well, he's got a tough finish here. It's going to be a big ask for Jason to take this finish out.
And these are sort of chances. A couple of frames ago he wasn't taking, and he was gifting frames to Gareth Potts, and he cannot afford to gift any more frames. Just 2 frames away from that coveted 3rd world crown.
Well, he just seems to be running into trouble here, because he's going to have to take the yellow into the bottom right, the red into the bottom right, and let the cue ball run and hope for a little bit of luck. Because chances are the yellows are going to swamp the red. not the sort of finishes you want to go when you're 9-4 down.
No, good point. But Lee, if you had to pick a man to pull out a dynamic finish, this guy would have to be top 5 on your list.
He certainly would. He's obviously a 2-time world champion. It's just not happening for him today. He's looking to do that and can into those yellows, open, promote the red. Has he moved the 8 ball far enough? I mean, even if he has and he can get to the red, he's still tied the 8 ball up. I don't think he's going to get these because I just think they're just too tricky. He's having to work through the eye of a needle, really, to get these.
You see there, Gareth Potts in the background, just giving Jason the stare.
And it's one of those when you sat in your seat, you think to yourself, well, I don't mind him going for these because he's probably going to get him probably 6 out of 10. He's trying to take the yellow away. It's a tricky shot. He's just trying to hold the white after canning the yellow to be on the one in the right centre.
Total snooker.
He's totally snookered himself, so it'll just be off the cushion and try and promote the red over the pocket. As you can see, you can't get through to that one. Well, I'm surprised he's going this way. I would have thought he'd gone off the other cushion to get that over the pocket. He's trying to get behind it, obviously.
Great shot there.
Yeah, what a touch.
And if he's got him touching up against it, it's going to be hard to get the cue ball out. But it looks like it's locked.
It's this sort of shot, Lee, where Gareth could just literally just touch down on top of the cue ball and give the tactical foul, and he wouldn't actually move it anywhere other than make it not touching anymore.
What a reply.
Yeah, there was such a benefit though for playing out because he didn't need to hit a cushion, so by just tapping one of those 4 yellows, he knew that he could put Jason back in trouble.
Yeah, it's exactly what he's done.
And he's blocked the same shot off again, so he's going to have to go the way I originally thought he was going, off the other cushion. But I just really didn't fancy Jason for that finish because it was just a finish too far for him.
And with so many yellows still available on the table.
I mean, he could go 2 cushions and try and pot it, but there's no real value because the 8 ball's tied up.
Oh, he's missed it. He's given the 2 visits away.
I don't really understand why Jason tried to pot it because even if he got it, the 8 ball was tied up, so why not just put it over the pocket? Well, with 2 shots in hand, there's absolutely no reason why Gareth Potts won't take himself one frame away from another world title.
He's using that second visit a little sooner than he would have liked, though, Lee.
Yeah, but he's still got more on the open. He'll be a little bit annoyed with himself for wasting a shot there, but all the balls are in the open. Perfect position. Just taking his time, trying to not make any silly mistakes.
Certainly the opportunity Gareth needed. You say when he was sat in his chair a few minutes ago, he was seeing Jason going for a finish that just was never really there. And he was, as you said, he was quite happy to see Jason carry on. And that's now worked in his favour.
Yeah, I mean, I fully expect Gareth to clear these yellows up, and 10-4 you would say would be over and out.
And yet another step closer to putting that trophy on the shelf at the club jointly owned by both Gareth Potts and our co-commentator Lee Kendall. Players Pool and Snooker Lounge in Stoke. Little plug, Lee.
It's nice, simple yellow here. Nice control of the cue ball there from Gareth.
Into the center. And 10-4 confirmed here in Blackpool. The best of 21. Gareth Potts wants one more frame. Rack number 15, frame number 15. And he wants it to be the last.
Foul. One visit.
Well, he'll have to hold his celebrations for the moment. Cue ball in hand for Jason Twist. Only the one visit, but he'll be happy to get back to the table.
Yeah, the celebrations are going to be on hold, Lee, but for how long? You feel like it's just inevitable now, the outcome here. And Jason Twist, still, there's no quit in that man. Never has been.
But a Jason Twist firing on all cylinders would do well to come back from 10-4 against the current world champion on this form.
30 seconds.
But he's gone and off the break, Gareth Potts, and he hasn't really left Jason an easy finish. He needs to develop the balls with this shot here. Trying to promote the red out. And there's lots of body movement on that shot. Didn't cue it well at all. Seemed to put his shoulder down as he played it.
And certainly, as you say, that red that he was trying to develop, he's just barely contacted it and it's not moved at all. Still tied in there with those yellows. Left himself anything easy. Looks like he's going for the plant. It's not straightforward at all. Well, he's lost the cue ball there completely. He's tried to force the plant in.
Yellow balls in.
Well, I just think he was trying a little bit too much there.
Touch of desperation, Lee.
That's right. I think he was frustrated with his first shot, so he's tried to invent something on his second shot, and it's just what you want when you're one frame away from winning the world title. 2 visits in hand.
You see, he's going to take this yellow into the middle and leave himself an angle on the... There's 2 yellows at the top of the tail, the right hand one to run into the red. Cluster there, and
I think
to develop this out.
If he catches the red rather than the yellow, that's what he's looking at now. If he just catches the red, the white will flick off the top side of it and clear the other yellow out. So it should be on choice of 2 balls here. One into the centre and one to the same pocket he's playing at. Exactly as it's played.
See once again the spin on that spotted cue ball.
Don't know if the yellow's come far enough out for him to play it in the middle, but that's what he was playing for.
Yeah, just a touch harder would have been perfect. He brought that yellow right over the center. Well, that's assuming it isn't available. It certainly may be available to the top left. Tough to tell. Or first look, almost looks like the red may be blocking the path.
Yeah, sorry, Jim. The other option is you can just double it out first shot here. He's got 2 visits, so it wouldn't be the end of the world if he didn't get it. If he gets it, it will definitely clear. Just to be a little bit careful here. He's playing the yellow, and the cue ball's going to be sliding towards the red, so that's why he's decided to waste his shot there. Didn't want to take any risks.
Visit.
You know, and I like seeing that too. Very patient.
Well, he knows if he can clear the 2 yellows at the bottom of the table and just find the gap between the 8 and the red above it, then it's all over. He's got his 3rd world title, the first man to do it, and the first man to retain a world title.
Yes, Gareth Potts now here, just now 3 shots away from the title in this year's Foster's World 8-Ball Pool Championships. What an ambassador this young man is for the game, Lee.
Yeah, he does everything right. I never find him saying a bad word against anybody. And a worthy world champion again. Just compose himself. He knows he's 2 shots away.
Make that 1. As we said, over 500 started out, all vying for the title. And in the end, one man stands alone. Gareth Potts, for the 3rd time, has become the world champion. A true world champion. Gareth Potts, 11-4 over Jason Twist.
Well, a fantastic achievement there. The young man from Stoke-on-Trent. You see there, hugs from Angie, your girlfriend there, Louise, Vicky Layton, all the family and friends are there. Truly great achievement, Lee.
Yeah, and his nan, his granddad are there to give him, and all his family's there. So I'll be really pleased to take this world title back to Stoke again.
So, brilliant achievement there from Gareth Potts. He's become the first man to retain his title in the process, of course, winning it 3 times. That's another. It's a double whammy for him. But we're going to hear from Keith in a moment. But first of all, here's Jim with both players.
Well, Jason, you dug yourself an early hole once again. This time it was against a different player, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's a great champion. He deserves it. I just couldn't get going early on, and Gaz was clearing up each time, and I kept making a mess of it, so I didn't deserve it at the end. He's played brilliant. It's a fantastic achievement to win it 3 times in 4 years, and he's going to go on to win it many more times, I'm sure.
Yes, he's only 25 years of age, but you know what? This is an event that you've really owned. This was your 5th final appearance, Jason. You come to play in Blackpool.
Yeah, I think it's time to hang Mickey up now.
Yeah, I doubt that. But again, very similar to your quarterfinal, semi-final. You didn't get out of the gate, did you?
No, didn't get going at all. Pools like that, you know, occasionally, and if your confidence isn't there and the balls aren't going for you, it's very tough, and that's how it showed tonight.
Well, all the best. Congratulations again. Well, Gareth, it's official. The curse is dead. The curse is dead. No one has ever successfully defended this title till now. Took 16 years to come, folks. Gareth Potts, finally, the defending champion in 2008. He celebrates again.
I'm absolutely delighted with that. Obviously, it wasn't the best final. Jason, didn't really play as Jason can play. We all know what a great player he is, and he didn't really perform there. But I just sort of had to hang in and just take the chances as they come.
Now, the early going again, you got off the mark, as you've done in virtually all of your matches. You really stamp your authority quickly on these, and that puts you in such good stead with your game.
Yeah, I think it's important, especially out here on the TV, to get off to a good start, because, if you get off to a bad start, the pressure can mount, and you get off to a good start and it puts your opponents under the pressure. So, no, that's what I always try to do, but just absolutely delighted with it.
Little celebrating tonight, you feel?
Yeah, I might have a couple of drinks, maybe.
A couple of drinks with everybody here. Gareth, it was a fantastic final again, and you're a credit to the sport. You really are.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you your 2008 Foster's World 8-Ball Champion, Gareth Potts.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your presentation party, Tournament Director Alan Benton, and from Scotland to Newcastle, UK, Chris Jowsey. First off, a big round of applause for your runner-up in this year's competition, Jason Twist. Against your 2008 Foster's World 8-Ball Pool Champion, Gareth Potts.
So, what a moment then for Gareth Potts. And Keith Brewer, let's get your final thoughts on a brilliant final. It's been terrific, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a great tournament, great final to finish it off. I thought Gareth excelled in all his matches and fully deserved his win.
He's been a class performer throughout this tournament, and you know, he's not a man that gives much away, but this means a lot to him, doesn't it? You can tell.
Yeah, it's such a big title to win, David, and you know, we all come here with dreams of winning it, but Gareth kind of has took the game to a new level, really.
And he's still relatively young. This could be his title or indeed his playground for a long time to come.
Yep. I think what it's going to do is it's going to help with the younger players that are coming through. They realise the kind of heights they've got to play at if they're going to try and take this title off him.
Well, Keith, thanks very much indeed for that. Thanks for your company throughout the series. And there we are, thanks for your company at home. Hope that you've enjoyed every minute as much as we have. In the meantime, from everyone here at Blackpool, for now it's goodbye. See you next time.